Hello, Trump Take 5 here, the channel that tries to give you a rundown of everything important that happened yesterday in relation to President Donald J. Trump in less than 5 minutes, so you can stay out of the 24-hour media circus that this president seems to generate. The first bit of Trump news yesterday was that his administration was overturning a 2014 rule that banned hunters from importing elephant trophies from Zimbabwe and Zambia. This would seem to only benefit a very small percentage of our population and in poor taste at best. I guess you could say there's really no good way to spin this unless you are an elephant or big game hunter. Best case scenario is that he's just continuing to overturn every piece of legislation that has Obama's name on it. Worst case is that he did this specifically for his own children who are big game hunters, and either way I think it stinks. The president had been in Asia for a while and he had been quiet, and I was expecting that we would see some activity about his trip on Twitter since he likes to tell us things that way. After getting back to the States, there was a couple of patting himself on the back tweets where he talked about getting the UCLA students, the basketball players released who were caught shoplifting over there in China, and that China was sending an envoy and delegation to North Korea. At the same time that was going on, we found out that Chuck Grassley and Dianne Feinstein had written a letter to Jared Kushner's lawyer saying that when he delivered emails that were required by the Senate Judiciary Committee, he left things that were known to exist out. These were specifically about a Russian backdoor overture and dinner invite to campaign officials of the Trump campaign. One of the Trump campaign's foreign policy advisors, Carter Page, who is under investigation by the House and Senate Judiciary Committees, and who's also been talked to by Robert Mueller, was seen dropping off documents yesterday. Mueller's team actually subpoenaed the Trump campaign directly yesterday for the first time, which is pretty big news. They subpoenaed documents for communications that have to do with Russia, but at this point, there's nothing that would compel testimony or go beyond anything that we know that he's already investigating. Trump himself did pop up to congratulate the House for passing their tax bill. The Senate is still working on theirs. Passing the bill isn't actually anything yet. I mean, they would have to make it through the Senate as well. But both of these bills have been under scrutiny at this point. People know what's in them, and it is fairly clear to see that the people who make out are the richest people in the country and corporations. There's a small tax break for low-income and middle-income families in the beginning, but after other credits disappear over time, within 10 years, there'll actually be no tax cut for those people, or it will be a tax increase. So that's not all that surprising. It's definitely sad. I actually looked at one of Trump's tweets and I made the mistake of looking at the comments and looking at the way people are responding to it. And it's just really sad that people don't understand how bad that is for this country. The trickle-down idea has never worked, and this is what they're doing. They're not making anything better for anyone. They're handing out short-term cuts for people to make it seem like a good deal, but in the long run, everyone who makes a living wage or lower will get screwed, and more money will leave our economy and go into the pockets of the top 1%. Also, it adds about $1.5 trillion to our deficit, which they say will be fixed by growth, but that has never worked in the past, and there's no reason to believe that it'll work now. The last bit of Trump news is related to Al Franken. The Democratic senator was accused of sexual harassment assault. There was a photograph of him touching a fellow actor while she was asleep. Trump tweeted about this, saying how bad it was, obviously, and I'm not saying that it's not bad, but I have been not touching this Roy Moore stuff because I've been waiting for Trump to say something about it, and he, to this point, still has not. Now, this is just partisan politics. I watched the Leeann Tweeden, who is the accuser of Al Franken, interview just before I made this video, and she seems to have accepted his apology and thought it came from a heartfelt place. And that's neither here nor there. If more people come out to say that Al Franken has been doing this for a long time and continues to do it, then he should be punished. If she wants him punished, then he should be punished. The Roy Moore stuff, though, on the other side is really just next level horrific. And he won't drop out of the race. And the only way that he probably would is if Donald Trump weighed in on it. So we could go into a whole lot of stuff here about this sexual harassment, and, it's good overall that this stuff's coming out, but it's highly hypocritical for the president, who is admitted himself on tape more than once to doing this sort of thing to try to point the finger at the other party just to kick up political strife. So what else would you expect from this president, though? That's it for today. We'll see you again tomorrow for 5 more minutes. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Talk to you tomorrow.